Hello, everybody, and welcome back to EPIC38, brought to you by Intel. I'm joined by the wonderful Exo Lightning.
Hello there. Thank you very much for having me again for another wonderful cast.
Always a pleasure. I bring you on to assist when we're watching Protoss.
Well, I like to think that I'm a Protoss expert, and that is wrong. However, I can still give some insight on this game.
You're allowed to think what you like. I think
Good
that's
stuff.
okay.
We have Zain versus Bellator coming up, or Zain versus Seb, and I may call him Seb throughout the series because he has lots of online names, but his real name is Seb.
Yep.
So, Seb is a very good Zerg player. He has played twice before in Epic LAN, and in his first ever Epic LAN he came third. And then, where did he come last time? Was it top 8 still?
Yeah, easily. It may be. Yeah. He did really well, and took some good games off some really high-level players. So it's always nice to see someone coming in and showing their best. And I think he has done so far. He had a slow start to the group stage. He only got like 2 matches in because of all the buys and walkovers and things that were happening in that group. And so one of those was a roster Losco. No, a Loster Roscoe.
A roster Losco.
Who we just saw play and is looking really in really good shape at the moment. Taking down AC 2-1. Yeah. So that was one of his games in the group, and then the other one was against Volticus, I think.
Yes, and actually to bring that up, in the day of the brackets of the group stage, there was a ladder match between Risky and Bellator. Now, Risky has forfeited the tournament for whatever reason. However, in that ladder game, Risky was playing Protoss. And Seb won, and Risky's Protoss is very good. So again, it's already showing his ZVP prowess here.
So on the other hand, let's talk about Zain, who is our Protoss for this match.
Needs no introduction is Zain if you have watched an Epic LAN before. He has very consistently been top 4 finishing in most Epic LAN he attends.
Yeah, I would say so.
Top 4, top 8.
Yeah, I'd say definitely, which is why he came in this tournament at this 4th seed.
Yes.
So yeah, that's pretty high, just behind some of the, maybe forerunners for who we think, may take the whole thing.
We're going to win the whole thing, yeah. So yeah, that's Zain, and Zain, a very good Protoss player. He's a very elusive Protoss player. You won't see his account very active. He has lots of maybe barcodes or off accounts, or we don't know where he plays, but when he comes, he knows how to turn it on. So we're really excited to see what he's been up to today. Who's he had in the bracket so far? I actually haven't followed his run so much.
His bracket had Mix, who he actually lost to. Yeah, so that was a bit of an upset. We're testing my memory here. Let's see what I can do. Mix. Zain, Mix.
Oh, that was my bracket. I had him in group. Yeah, I should remember this.
There you go.
Yeah.
So who else was in your group?
You're testing my memory now.
Yep. It's your group. I can't remember.
I should remember it. I should remember it. We had Crypt and Ren, who are 2 of the lower level players, and then we had.
Yeah, should be one of the person.
Yeah.
Unsure.
And then, like I say, Mix, who plays random. Mix is a very strong player. He is still going in the tournament. He is in the lower bracket right now, I believe.
Yeah, he'll be facing off against Iger, which we're not going to have time to show on stream, unfortunately. But
the winner of that will face the loser of this match. Correct? I believe that's how it goes.
The winner of that...
I believe the winner of that faces the loser of this match.
Yes, that's correct. Because then after that, they play a consolidation match, which will be, the winner of those matches against the winner of Figaro versus
Ross.
Is it Ross?
Yeah,
I think it's Ross. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it Figaro or Ross? I don't know. There's no, because then they've the winner of that. The winner of
we're testing our memory here.
The winner of Figaro Ross is going to face Raza in the lower bracket, and then the winner of that is going to go against the winner of the other match we just said. This is very complicated to say. We are not the best at explaining it, but here we go. We've had our production help us out here. Yes, so it's Mix versus Ross, sorry. It's Figaro versus Iger. That's where we were getting confused.
There we go,
So Mix and Ross are going to play off, and the winner of that will face Raza.
Yeah, who fell in from the
upper bracket for Yumi in an amazing series. If you're just tuning in now, go check out the VOD for Yumi.
At the end.
At the end. Afterwards, check out for Yumi Raza. Probably game of the tournament so far, in terms of what the quality of games and how well they were playing and how back and forth it went.
But close and exciting.
It was really exactly really good watch. So we're still waiting for the players to get in.
Yep.
So it's going to be ZVP. I spoke about this before when I was on casting as ZVP. But do you have any map VOs or anything? Or
okay, this is going to be a controversial opinion.
Oh, go for
it. As a Zerg player, I don't like altitude. It's too big. I just don't like it.
Nobody seems to like altitude. I've not played altitude this tournament.
It's interesting because Data C was one of the maps that got played quite a lot more often.
Yeah, yeah.
And Data C is the previous map pool's biggest map.
Yes.
Though the average has sort of gone up. So while it was slightly bigger than altitude, I think, in terms of rush distance, the average of all the other maps has also increased.
Yeah. Also, Data C had the wider bases. You had a lot of bases that you could take wide. So the rush distance was large, but and you could, Zerg could spread out.
Yeah.
So that's all.
Yeah, I didn't mind Data C. Altitude, not so much a big fan of. I vetoed that one. I haven't vetoed any of the others. I think they're all pretty okay. A few of them have some, rough spots for things like ZVT with, nasty tank spots.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But those I find tend not, obviously, Protoss can't make tanks, so I find those not to matter too much.
Not yet. We're working on it. We're working on it.
Those don't matter too much to me in ZVP.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we have Neo Humanity is the other interesting map of this map pool.
Zergs are okay with that one.
Yeah,
Protoss are the ones vetoing.
I was going to say I've been vetoing it personally, but I know some Protossers like it. And there were some weird cheats with a proxy hat. So Neo Humanities is the one where between your natural and what would be your third in a line, there is gold patches that you need to mine through. Some Zergs at the start of the season were building a proxy hatch and then mining through that to get around your wall. But that sort of fell off. I haven't seen as much of that recently, and there's been no Zergs who I see gunning for that in this tournament.
I don't think it's particularly strong.
Yeah.
Once you know that someone is trying to mine through that wall, it's not that fast to break through, and then you can kind of re-wall off the top of that ramp, and then the rush distance from that proxy hatch to
the front of the wall
is really long
yeah.
So I'm not convinced that's an amazing strat, but
really interestingly designed map. That one, when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be a terrible map," but it's actually kind of grown on me a little bit. It's not a bad map.
It's pretty good. I mean, the rush distance on that one is really short, so I think that's why it's kind of not so much a Protoss map.
Yeah. It's got the slow zones in the middle there.
And the expansion pattern is a bit rough. Yeah. Once you mine through that gold line, walling off that little section does give you quite a safe safe third.
Yeah, I think I'm interested to see what developments we see at the highest level for that map.
Yeah, I think the big obvious one that springs to mind is Gumiho, who proxied all of his buildings over in that behind those mineral walls.
And then used the tank spot to...
Yeah, because you can't mine through those when you're under attack, unlike breaking down rocks where you can attack the rocks. You have to mine to get through it. Yeah. So it makes it quite a safe spot to build things and put things like tanks and liberators.
And as you say, because the rush distance, there's a big part you have to go around it.
Yep.
It's hard for Zerg to get that surround on there as well. So yeah, it's really interesting to see how that's played out in multiple different ways. The other controversial map I have on this pool, and I feel like I'm the only one, is Grezvan.
Yeah, Grezvan's a weird one to me.
Because it's not the shortest rush distance in the map by any means.
Second longest, yeah.
Yeah, I would say, I wouldn't say it was second longest. But Protoss can't wall with 3 buildings. They can wall with 3 buildings, but it's a bit less traditional because they can't hard wall with 3 buildings.
Yeah.
There has to be a gap.
Yeah.
Which means some link floods are really scary on that map. And it's really interesting to see that. And personally, again, I've been vetoing that. So.
Yeah, I spoke about it earlier because we watched, must have been Roscoe versus Bellator on it.
Oh, right, yeah.
No, sorry, Mix versus Bellator on it.
Yes.
And Mix
got Protoss, didn't he?
Yes, did a really aggressive disruptor push.
Yes.
And on that map, you've got a couple ramps that you can play around. But once the opponent is up those ramps, you're all on the same level. So then it's quite a lot harder to play. And basically, because of that, and because of your choices for 4th bases as Zerg, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I find it... I've played it, but I'm not...
I feel like Grezvan isn't the most popular map. I found it more interesting that so far this season, I feel like there hasn't been the... You know how sometimes there's 1, 2, or even 3 maps where everyone's like, these are just the standard maps we go for. I feel like everyone's a bit more divided on these maps.
Yeah, so in the previous pool, it was things like
Moon Dance
and Stargazers.
Yeah.
Stargazers, I think, was
everyone
vetoed.
Everyone hated Stargazers. No offense. Who made that map? I don't know who made that. If you made that map, I'm sorry, all right? It's not a bad map.
No. We need...
Deterrent can doom drop on it,
maps.
all right?
Yeah, we need interesting maps. And I think then that's the whole point of the veto system.
Yes.
Is that, if you don't want to play interesting maps, you don't
Yeah. I think I like it. I like it when high-level players craft a strategy around the map. And that's what something like Stargazers can do. But for trying to be a consistent ladder player, which I think most of us are, yeah, we prefer just standard maps. But that's how we're doing. Okay, we're just looking to see if the players are ready yet, but we're not quite sure.
We're still going to have to fill a little bit more time as we
All right.
get
I want to tell a quick LAN story here then, because we are at LAN, and this involves Zain. So there was one other thing. There was one LAN a couple of LANs back where it was Zain versus somebody, and it was the first series of the day on Championship Saturday. It might have been actually when the finals were on Sunday, but it was on the Saturday, midday-ish. The stream started, everyone's getting ready, first match. It might have even been Figaro, Zain. I think that was the series. And nobody knew where Zain was. So me and Kaz and a few others ran out to the car park and had to knock on the window because Zain was asleep in the back of Raz's car, I believe. And he was just like, yo, I haven't woke up yet. So we had to pull him out, get him to his desktop, and then I think he lost that series. So hopefully he's more well-rested today. In fact, I've seen him this morning, so I know he is.
I think he was bragging actually about how much he slept and how well he was feeling.
That's a good power-up. Zain is actually notorious for not getting a lot of sleep at LAN.
Yeah, that's true.
The Seka brothers are both bad for that. They get drained by the end of LAN. So Raza makes so many winners finals, or grand finals, I should say, and but he's tired. So hopefully they've both got the power-up, because we need one of these boys, or maybe one of the other players, to be a big threat for Yumi.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. We need, some of these up and comers, some of these UK hopes we saw Raza already played for Yumi, and it did definitely, it was pretty close. It was looking all right. So I'm reading the screen. I shouldn't be, but yeah, I think as many challenges as we can get for him is going to be better.
Exactly. And I'd again love to see another big macro series that goes all the way. Maybe a PvP series. If 4Yumi has really stretched his PvT already, be really interested if we can get a PvP match with him. But I mean, he's already waiting in winners finals, so we'll have to see if Zain can do this and then give him that big match. You love to see it. We are currently in the lobby for Game 1. It is going to be on Ancient System. One of the maps we did not discuss because that's just the way it goes.
It's
the green map.
All right. I think people are pretty happy. So the order so far is going to be Ancient System, Grezvan, which we talked about.
Yeah.
Royal Blood, Babylon, and Dragon Scales. So
interesting.
Royal Blood, Babylon, and Dragon Scales are the three that look really similar and they sort of play really similar. They're pretty standard. They have sort of slightly differing rush distances, but generally they're pretty much the same.
It's really interesting. So somebody banned Altitude, which, like you said, you didn't like. So maybe that was Seb. What was the other map that was banned then?
Neo-Humanity.
Oh yeah, Neo-Humanity. Yeah, which probably was Zain's VO. So
yeah, I would have imagined so. So Ancient System, we should talk about that since we're loading into it.
Yes.
I think I called it the jungle map once before. It's like really green. It's pretty big. Yeah.
Cyril called it the green map, famously in Katowice.
Yeah, it's pretty big, pretty green. I quite like having different colours in the map.
Yeah. Having a brighter one as well, I like.
Yeah, for sure. And then I was talking about the bird sounds and stuff. That
I don't have a lot. I play Starcraft with really low volume, so I don't hear a lot of the ambient sound.
All
right, we are loading in to the first map of the series. It is going to be spawning in the top right. It is the Protoss player. It is Zain.
And changing colours down here in the bottom left is RD Desolator.
Desolator. See, he's very difficult because his name in game is like Bellator, but for some reason it comes up as Desolator. He's also Dr. Dire.
Oh, I didn't know he had so many.
Yeah, he's got so many. This is why I may refer to him as Seb or Deso. Deso sounds cool.
You think?
I think it sounds cool.
Bellator's alright.
Bellator is also cool. I don't know where that comes from. I need to actually ask him where that comes from.
Bellator is an MMA promotion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if that's where he got it from. I don't know if they both got it from the same place.
So
we see Zain actually not blocking his own Nexus, which is going to be a good move. I'm a big
Next level strats to not block your own natural.
Choice. And then, yeah, Seb opening really standard behind this. It's going to be, hatch first, and then
hatch first, low versus low ground wall. This is exactly what you'd expect in any PvZ.
Grab the gas, and then next drone will make the pool.
Yeah.
Ready?
So, as always, if this is your first PvZ, the most interesting thing generally comes in around 2 minutes 15, 2 minutes 20, which is when the Protoss commit to a tech choice. If everything is going standard, both players will have a natural, and then it'll be down to the Protoss, what the Protoss does with his gas, whether it be Stargate or whether it be some form of Twilight Council. Generally, those are the main two options. So we've got about another minute here to wait to see what's going on. Zain's going to be just annoying with this probe. Oh, actually getting Seb to pull a drone off to fight that a little bit.
Yeah, when they're doing this mineral trick that tries to make your drones bounce, it's easiest just to pull a drone off and hit the probe, because otherwise it's going to bounce anyway. So.
This is really annoying, very high-level stuff. If you're Diamond or Low Masters and somebody's doing this to you, don't worry, just ignore it. They're messing up their build at home.
Yeah.
Or they're a Smurf.
It's definitely not easy to do.
Right. So first unit we expect to always be an Adept here, and it is. But like I say, in about 10 seconds' time, Zain will have that gas to commit to a tech choice. And since he's already started Warp Gate, it'll probably be a Twilight Council. We will have to wait and see. Oh, no, it is going to be the Stargate. Yeah, love to see it. Very safe, solid opener. Very safe versus everything. Allows you to get a third base. Doesn't give you a lot of kill opportunity on the Zerg. But Zain is a Protoss who is comfortable to take it to a macro game.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Both of these players are pretty happy with their late game play, their macro-oriented play. So I'm not sure we see anything too cheesy in this series. I did talk to Seb, actually, and he says he does have some builds in mind. He says he has something planned. But
well, this is Seb's got a bit of a meta disadvantage here, in the sense that he might be thinking, okay, if I win this series, I've got to face 4 Yuumi. Do you want to show your entire hand beforehand, or before in this series? So probably game 1 is just going to be a feeling it out game. We've got 2 Adepts coming across here. They are going to shade in. I think he's going to commit to the shade. I feel Zain is going to commit to it. He did commit to it.
But I think Seb is pretty happy here with the safety links that he made. Although 3 drones going down is definitely more than you'd like, especially with the commitment to links that was made here.
I was going to say, I think if you get 4 drones for 2 Adepts, you feel happy about that. But because of the amount of links that was made, essentially, here was that. We have a 12-worker advantage for the Protoss, which is a lot, actually, in this stage.
But Seb will be catching up quite quickly as as he switches now from making lings to defend against the Adepts, which are obviously now gone, to just straight droning.
And killing this probe that wants to make the 3rd is big. Yeah, he gets it.
Quite good here to switch on the Oracle as well, because it's obviously going to start draining energy, and then it can't get across the map and kill more of your drones.
Yeah.
And obviously this is the time in the game where you don't want to be worrying about losing drones, you just want to be like powering up and making as many as you can.
Zain has... he's got no energy on the Oracle. If he activates this, he can't kill all the lings. Did Seb realise it? He realises. But the second Oracle, the tasteless Oracle, coming out here to help out.
I think he's pretty safe here, and that is why you make these Oracles. He does actually have a 3rd one coming.
Yep.
And I think some more tech on the way.
Yeah, so what will likely be the next part of the tech will be a Forge and a Twilight Council. And he's likely to go into the hero style of a lot of Stalkers with Blink and continuously building Oracles if he needs them. There's also Spores already in place and great control with the drones by Seb there to keep them all safe.
Yeah, he's played really safe here, going up to, I think, all 3 safety Spores, which we saw, AC obviously didn't do, and then, took a bit of a loss to the Dark Templar.
Yep, it
can
happen.
Miscontrol there, losing the Oracle.
Yeah. Yeah, hate to see it, but it does happen. Very easy to, Oracles can be a bit finicky to control. At Zain's level, you do expect them to be very good with that. You have some lings putting on some pressure here at the front wall, but it's already walled off there with the pylon, so he's not going to get through.
Maybe overreacting to fully wall it, don't you think?
Yeah, actually, to let that pylon finish I'm not sure about that. Seb is getting a full scout into the main, and I think I did see a Forge go down on the production tab a minute ago. So yeah, Forge, is that Twilight Council as well?
Yep.
Yeah, so likely to be that Blink hero style.
On the other hand, Seb is making his +1 melee upgrade, which I think is probably the correct response.
I was about to say, this is a very high-level meta game at the moment, and yes, that is a popular response.
Oh, I didn't even notice. I think he morphed this to try and save one of the drones, perhaps.
Or to block off adepts that were coming through. Oh, there were 3 adepts earlier.
Can misclicked and thought this was a
Can you press U right quickly? How many? Oh, okay, there are 4 adepts now. Yeah, there were 3 adepts earlier. I don't know if they went across the map at some point, but
yeah, we've lost 3 so far in the game.
Ah, okay, so yeah, maybe they went across. Okay, we have the Oracles going out to the 4th. They're going to scout the 4th base and see what is going to be going on out here. We do also have, a robotics bait. This is an unusual one. I would love to see Colossus here.
You think?
If he's baited Seb into going +1 Lings, +1 melee, and then goes into Colossus, yo, and 7 more gates. This is going to be a big 3-base timing. I don't think Seb is planning to get a 4th base this game.
Well, Seb obviously is. But
Zain
Zain is definitely
yes,
not.
yes.
You know, 7 more gates coming out. There is an Immortal on the way, but I expect you might be right that it's Colossus. I only think that because I actually saw Zain playing Colossus yesterday.
Oh,
this is a big surround from the Lings, though. I just don't think he can dive on this with the Oracles here. They have so much energy.
This is so smart, though, because he's pushed out. He's seen that there's a bunch of Lings. Seb is now making a bunch more Lings because he's seen the threat. And like, oh no, it is Disruptor.
Yeah,
no, Zain should be a Colossus, I think.
No,
but
I allow Disruptors here. I think he's already seen how they work against Bellator earlier today. And they, looked pretty fine, looked pretty okay. Definitely a good train for Bellator in the middle of the map there. Taking Lings off the Adepts, I think is something they'll take every time.
Oh, Ling run by trying to get in here. He's going to go for the natural. Is paying attention? Oh, Zain is not paying attention. Huge run by coming through here.
Oh, he's going to pick off this Disruptor for free.
Oh.
A really brilliant pick off. And beyond that, it scouts all of the tech.
And
the probe kills.
Lings in the main, Lings in the natural, Lings on the 4th base as well, but I think they're being defended. Yeah, they got defended.
Cleared up. The ones over here are going to get quite a few more kills.
Oh, a 20.
20 probes going down already. 20. Okay, 20 flat by the looks of it. No more than that. But 20 is for the Ling investment. Only 60 Lings have gone down this game.
Yeah.
For as you can see from the trades, it is really good. But obviously, trading out workers is even better because the opponent then has to remake them, and then they lose the mining time for the whole time that those workers are dead. So, yeah, I think Seb will be really happy with his position in the game so far.
Absolutely. And Zain now looking to take a more defensive position. He is going to get that 4th base. So I don't know if he's going to commit to any timing. It's going to be really hard to because, again, that mineral loss from not being able to mine off of those 20 workers, that dramatically affects their timing push. But he's got a lot of Zealots here. Charges most of the way done. But they are currently slow Zealots going up against some Roaches here.
Yeah, I think Seb really just needs to remake, or just make a lot more Roaches. It does look like it's going to be a charge all-in timing type thing. I think, probably with a Disruptor or 2 behind it. And the Roach is going to do really well against that. It is mostly Lings so far, but with the Banelings here, I think the Banelings
so this push is coming in on the 4th, but Seb has a huge block of Zerg on the triangle base of the thingy. Yeah, look at that. He's ready to do a counterattack. I think he's in good control of this game. But if Zain can defend perfectly, then he can definitely bring this back. Nice.
Spotting out these Banelings is really big.
Yes.
He should switch his Oracles on and kill these, I think.
Yeah, I'm curious as why he's not. But I guess he knew the Queens were coming. I don't know.
Maybe just didn't want to burn the energy before the attack came.
Okay, here we go. Speed. Baneling speed is done. Rolling into the 3rd. Rolling into the natural as well. He's going 2 frontal attack. Great Disruptor pop-out timing. I don't think he's going to be able to break through that. Oh, he does break through, even with a super battery.
And now he's going to be able to attack him over here. But I don't think this army looks good enough for Seb, to be honest. With these Archons are really scary, and with the Immortals and Sentries.
Oh, another Disruptor is going to get picked off here, though.
Yeah, that's a really big pick off for Seb. He'll be really happy to get that. Just trading that for Lings is really good. And another 11 probes going down behind this. Yeah. There's so many Banelings morphing in, though.
Yeah, actually,
nearly 30 coming down now.
Chance for a big Disruptor shot there, but I don't know if Zain was able to fully take advantage of it. Ling's still causing havoc. Zain pushing onto the map. He's feeling brave. Or feeling like he's got to get something done. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he really needs to position quite defensively here. Does look like it's going to be a bit of a queen walk from Seb. He may be regretting this. I'm not sure. He could, turn his Overlords on and start
Poop the Overlords.
Yeah.
But he's not doing that.
He is maxed out, so it makes sense to be starting to push here. A lot of Banelings coming through.
Oh, is Zain going to react? Zain's got so much going on the minimap right now. It's going to be really hard for him.
Another 8. Another 15 workers going down. This is absolutely falling apart from Zain.
Zain has still got 49 workers and 4 bases, so he's still got plenty of minerals to mine. He just needs to stabilize. But because Seb is not rich in terms of bank, he's got maxed out right now, and he's got a decent amount of workers. But he's not like he can't keep this up forever.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think it's definitely going to be an uphill battle from here for Zain. His army is, pretty high value, whereas Seb's is definitely not. It's mostly Lings, Ravagers, and Roaches.
But he keeps slipping by. Another Ling run by going into the third. Sets up a stasis trap, but that's actually not going to stop it.
There's a big Zealot run by over here in the top.
I love it.
Zain.
You need to take some control back in this game. But Seb's ready.
Ready for it. I really wish he would kill this this cybernetic score. It's so low, and it'd be so irritating to kill that.
Yeah.
Zain, the nerves are definitely showing because he slightly mistimes the Disruptor Nova on those Lings. That's a shame. Behind this, Seb is going to be going up to Hive, which is a good tech move, I think. Getting the Spire behind it. I expect he might go Broodlords, though Mutas would also be pretty viable. Maybe not against the Archons, but Zain is so spread out across this map. I think you can do pretty much whatever you like. I do expect it'll be Broodlords though. Yeah,
Seb's in a good control point of this game and is probably feeling quite good about this. Archons are a great unit. Actually, versus Ling Bane, they are a very good unit. If Hydras or something would come out, that would be less so. But there might be a critical mass where Zain can just go with one army and do a one-shot. And that might be happening right now as he makes a commanding move onto this 4th base.
I think, honestly, though, with the tech that Seb has, he can give up this base. That's a big disruption Nova, though, losing a lot of the really expensive Ravagers there. Good force fields to save this Disruptor.
Yeah.
As Seb chases off Creep a little.
Oh, that was a nice bit of pressure put back onto Seb, but Roach Ravager Bane is really hard to attack into as a Protoss. Even with Disruptors, it's a very scary thing to push into. On creep and when your opponent's up bases, there's kind of a pressure on Zain to get something done here, though.
Yeah, I think you're right. Now with the Great Spy coming through, whether Zain knows it or not.
Another Ling run by into the natural. Oh, it doesn't catch though. Yeah, okay.
Yes. Yeah, it sends a few Banelings in over here, but there's just not even any workers to kill.
Yeah, true.
Takes out a gateway with the Cyber survives on 5 HP.
Oh, and a Zealot run by into Seb's third. Does kill the Queen there. Maybe.
Yeah, that's irritating, but I don't think this is getting enough damage for the cost of these Zealots. Gone by a long way. And, Zain, I think, can't really be affording to throw anything away. He's not on a huge amount of workers. He's not got a huge bank, and he's not even maxed out. So throwing away Zealots feels
and now the mineral bank for Seb is starting to build here. He's maxed out, and it's starting to build.
Zain has definitely caught him out of position here, though. He's pushing through now with all of these Archons on the front side. And Seb is mostly in the bottom right.
Yes, I don't think Seb has respected this push enough. Accidentally sent more than he needed to down to the bottom. But now he's going to come in for a big surround, potentially. Got to be careful. There is a lot of things. This creep is receding, but it will still give a speed advantage.
Yeah, 20 drones going down. It's so many Archons here, and the Banelings are really not going to trade well against them. But are there just enough Banelings?
There's so many Banelings!
But I think the Archons are just about managing to hold on here. Maybe the reinforcements from Seb will clean this up.
I promise this was the one-shot army that Zain had.
Yeah, I think you're right. He can't afford to replace this at all. That said, Seb has also burned through his all of his banks. He has no money left at all.
And the worker count is now flipped back into Zain's advantage. Damn, what a good attack.
Run by in the bottom right, he's really lost a lot here, Seb.
This is a Protoss is good kind of moment. I'm amazed at how that turned out for him.
I'm not. So behind this, Seb is going to be making use of the Hive tech, so going up into +3 attack.
Yep.
I think he already has Adrenal for his Lings, which is a really big upgrade. It increases their DPS a lot. He does need to use this Greater Spire, I think.
I don't know if he's got the money for it.
So broke. He's actually mining less than
less
than Zain is right now.
Like
it's pretty even.
Those bases that Seb has been denying all game, the mining has been denying, that the minerals still stay there. So there's still money to mine there. So in the longer this goes, Seb will mine out first, basically. But he is still up in supply. I don't think
for the time being. Though I'm not really convinced that this supply is necessarily what you want. It's, +1 attack, Roach Ravager, and a bunch of Banes. I kind of think that Seb, on the other hand, feels that he's got to go all in here, and he kind of does. He's down in
50
workers.
Drones, yeah.
This could be a big shot.
Good.
Oh, and it dies just in time. That was so nearly killed like 5 Ravagers. That would have been insane.
Now, Terran always gets away with clicking disruptors, but Zerg, it is a big risk. Like, you have to calculate properly whether...
Oh, that is a big shot.
Oh, I think Seb's doing it. You can't find the range of a super battery.
I think so.
Oh, there isn't a super battery here.
There's no battery here, but the Archons are still up. There's a Void Ray that's going to get nearly bioed down. Seb tries to push on through, but
the Oracle...
there's enough units here.
Oracle is pushing out damage as well.
Must have so many kills. Yeah, 15 kills on this Oracle.
Oh, you hate to see it. And GG.
Insane.
Incredible game one. It looked like Seb was in such good control for a lot of that game.
Completely. I think he'll be kicking himself. I think he. So the moment that he let slip was when Zain moved from the right-hand side of the map all the way around to the left.
Yeah.
Completely uncontested, and just took him completely by surprise. And his army was way out of position there.
I agree. And I think, the surround felt good, like it would be a good thing. But Archons always trade well, even if they're well-upgraded lings. Like, if you have a bunch of Archons, like 8 to 10 Archons, like, clustered together, even if you get a surround on them, they're going to trade well. And it's incredible how well they did.
Yeah, and I do think Seb maybe misread the game a little bit. I think he thought it was going to be a lot of Zealots, and then Zain shows up with nearly none, and he just has a lot of Archons. So if you're making Banelings to counter the Zealots, and he shows up with units that just don't really die to Banelings, then, that's a good move for sure.
It's really interesting because, Archons fall off hard if there are Hydras out, because Hydras have a good range and they can kite back a bit, or Broodlords, again, if you can get to that late game deck. They even do alright versus Ultras, but... Yeah, Seb was never in a position to make a Hydra switch, or never in a position to get those Hive units out. I wonder if he just didn't drone hard enough. Maybe he should have gone up to like 90 drones when he had the control of the game.
I think it's possible if
get
he
more
takes
money.
A better fight and holds on to more of his army, he doesn't have to remax on Ling Bane and Roach. If he can just give up those bases and make Broodlords in his natural, just play really slow, really defensive.
Yeah.
I do think he can. He could have. Maybe squeeze some Broodlords out and bring him in a much more commanding position, because Zain just didn't have the money to be, agile enough into, that late game tech.
Yes. Well, we're going straight into game 2 here. It is going to be on Grezvan, and
spawning down here in the green, up 1-0 in this series is Zain.
And his opponent, the Zerg player, spawning as purple in the top left. It is Desolator. I'll give him the proper name. So yeah, this is that was a really interesting game 1. And pool first. I'm glad you pointed that out because I just blanked on that.
You need to be careful not to blank on that in your ladder games.
Yeah, I do frequently blank out on my ladder games as well. So Zain. Oh, and this is 12. Okay, so the reason why this is good is for the reason I was saying earlier. On this map, you can't hard wall with 3 buildings.
Yep.
So the normal response is you don't actually hard wall versus just a 12 pool with no gas normally. So it's not going to become too relevant here, but it does make it more tricky. Your building position have to be very deliberate. Zain is a very deliberate player with his building, so I'm sure he's at least ready for this. And I believe Zain is a fan of doing a defense where you pull 3 to 4 probes and make 1 zealot, and you defend the 12 with that.
Units, yep.
But the expectation is that you don't lose a probe. It's a really fine, high-level defense.
But behind this, as you said, it's a 12 pool, so we just have a normal macro opener coming out for Seb. Well,
it is a macro build. It is a macro build.
It's people thinking that it's an all-in that are going to lose to it because they're going to overreact. They're going to spend, too much on, walling up and on all this sort of thing.
Yeah, and that's why the minimal defense that Zain does is such an important sort of thing at the highest level. The probe is sneaking back around, making sure there's no weird stuff going on. As we can see, we have the three building wall off with a hole in all ready. He is actually going for the second zealot. So he pulled the 4 probes, but he's still building the second zealot. So Zain respecting this a lot.
Yeah, I think the second zealot is really good because it lets this first zealot kind of push out a bit further.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to keep him in the wall, and it's definitely tough. He's actually chronoing
into a supply block. He got this down.
Yeah, it was only for a couple seconds, maybe. But I think this has been pretty thoroughly held, and I think Seb has to go home now with his 8 lings and his tail between his legs.
Yeah, and Seb, all right, Zain, when you watch the VOD for this, I want to let you know now you're not building workers. That anytime he looks at a replay of me doing stuff like this, he always has a go because I'm not building workers consistently. Building workers is at least as far as I'm aware, is one of the really important things to keep doing here. And that the way you get that first Zealot out and you time your Chrono Boost is actually all around continuing to be able to build probes. So a lot of technicality in that Zain really likes to go off of. But he is ahead in workers. He's got these 2 Adepts out on the map, and I believe he's going Stargate behind this. So transitioning into a more normal position for himself.
Yeah, and Seb will be as well. You know, he's getting this gas down so he can start getting that gas for Ling speed, which you kind of really need for holding these Adepts. I do think Zain can be more aggressive here and maybe take one of these shades because he's, you know, he's only playing against slowlings. But I expect, you know, if Seb is going to be playing properly, he should be surrounding these shades, and the Lings will be.
Yeah, the Lings are ready for it.
Yep. But it's good, you know, just to keep your opponent on their toes. You know, get out on the map with these Adepts.
And again, a high-level decision from Seb to not commit the Lings at the start of the game. If you commit the Lings to trying to kill the wall and then you lose them, and then the Adepts come across the map, you then have to build more Lings, which is not drones.
We actually have a really fast.
Yeah, that is so fast.
Actually, completely in the vision of Seb as he sees this coming up now.
Yeah, but this makes sense, right? Because if there was a ton of Lings, then they would have dived on the Adepts already. So Zain knows there's not much there.
Its Overlord is going to head towards the main and try and check out the tech, and it is going to be an Oracle. I expect to see another one behind it. Yep.
Do we see any spores coming down? If he doesn't see this, is it right on the edge of the vision?
Yeah, it's just
okay, he sees it. He just about sees it.
So yeah,
he needs to start spores immediately, though.
Now.
And
they actually cancelled the second Oracle and started building a Void Ray behind.
Interesting. Might be worried about an all-in. Okay, now a spore comes down. If he has queens in good position, this is still okay. Yeah, look at it.
I think he's completely okay.
He's so good.
It does make it a little bit easier, you know, since you're only playing off of these 2 bases. You know, you have two places to actually bother defending, which makes the hold a little bit easier. So yeah, he has got 2 queens in each mineral line, which thoroughly dissuades this Oracle.
Yeah.
Maybe that is why Zain switched into the Void Ray, just because he knew that having a second Void Ray, you're still not going to get anything done. There's still going to be two queens in both.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but either way, yeah, beautiful positioning. Again, this is where he activated the pulsar beam on that.
Yeah, he's just taking out Overlords with this.
Oh, okay,
I expect he will look for the other one. There's nearly always one at that top pillar, just to the north of his natural expansion, so I expect he'll go looking for that. Or maybe not. He's going to send it. It's full send coming across the map.
Going across the map. There used to be, so way back in the day, before Oracles may have even been a thing, what players would do is that they would build 1 Phoenix and actually it was, Phoenix and Oracles, and they'd lift the queen.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
And they'd lift the queen, and then the Oracles would pulsar down the drones. That was so cool.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you're exactly right. Because you're just there, defenseless as a Zerg then.
Yeah.
Your only defenses away.
But Zergs have gotten so sharp with their queen timings. And opening Phoenix in PvZ is very rare now. Oh, you know what this is? This is going to be an Archon drop, I think.
I think it's just going to be a straight push. He's got charge.
Actually, yes, you might be right.
You're right, though. Template Archives, but I think with the gateways, he's probably going to add on like 2 or 3 more, and then he's just going to push across the map with a flood of zealots. Trading out the Lings here is not a good choice, I think. So they're going to take a bit of a bruising, but
yeah, a very old school PvZ build from a couple of years ago now was you opened 1 Oracle into this like high Templar Archon drop. It hit around 6:30, but obviously this was a 12 pool game, so everything's a bit delayed. But 5 more gates on the way, so yeah, you are correct. This is just going to be a straight +1, or 3 more gates other than the initial 2.
Yeah.
But this is going to be, I think, just a straight +1 charge timing. But the Overlord creeping into Zain's base right now, I mean,
yeah, it does scout everything. So
if he sees those other 3 gates,
pretty ready for this. Yeah.
If he doesn't see those other 3 gates, there might not be a chance. But there's nothing to contest this Overlord, so he should see everything.
Just barely out of vision of these other gates. This Void Ray is going to come across and harass the 4th a little bit. That's just like a little bit annoying for the Zerg.
Adept shading into the 3rd, I think, now as well. Yeah, I think they. Oh no, they didn't finish. Okay, okay. Are these Oracles being AFK'd? I think. Okay, yeah. Adepts commit this time. Go in there, get 4 or 5 workers. He does lose the Oracles, though, on the left side.
Yeah,
he lost 1 Oracle. Down. Oh, that's pain.
But for 11 drones...
Yeah, that's actually not too bad.
That's okay, that's okay.
Especially since he's doing a big all-in. So if Seb now remakes those drones, this is really scary. But a 4th base. Maybe Seb was just being defensive, because now he's getting a Robo and a 4th base.
Yeah,
So you know,
that Robo Bay for probably more disruptors. He may make a Colossus, like you suggested, but he's actually up in workers at the moment, so I think he's fairly happy in the spot.
I think he's
going to be another Nexus as well.
I think he noticed that he did a lot of damage there, and is like, all right, this +1 time I had, I actually don't need to do that now. I don't need to commit into that. So
yeah, I think probably with these Oracles and the Adepts, he scouted out, you know, just quite how many roaches there were on the other side for Seb, and he probably thinks, okay, making, you know,
a charge lot
40
attacking
into
into that.
is
Yeah.
I think you're right.
But I do like Disruptors this time if he goes into Disruptors, because Roach Ravager is really hard to split versus Disruptors.
Yeah, especially off creep like they are now.
Yeah. Oh, is this base going to die? This base is dead.
To go for it. Zain is going to try and heal it with the super battery.
The super battery!
Barely, with really excellent force fields to reduce the area of effect. Yeah. Some links coming through, but with the super battery here, I'm not sure. Yeah, that's back to full shield, so that's going to take a little while.
Zain playing this so well. That was such a smart thing to delay the super battery as well.
Yeah, I think with the momentum here, it can definitely push out across the map. You know, Seb was pushing in and trading units when he really shouldn't have been. He has a lot of money, but needs to spend it to hold this push, I'm certain.
Okay, big
actually a little bit caught out here and has to recall all of his units home. He only loses, I think, like a few zealots left behind, so that's actually quite an alright trade for him, I think.
Yeah. Okay, Baneling. So again, this Roach Ravager Bane style we'll kind of go back into, but this time it's going to be the range upgrades for thing kicking in. They're not started yet though, so nice,
good splits. Yeah, this is an interesting push for Seb. It kind of didn't work the first time, but he's going to have another go, I think. But he's actually behind in workers and equal in bases, which means he's probably down like economically overall.
There's one Void Ray, uncontested.
Yeah,
very annoying to have to deal with.
Kills, 8 kills, 15 probes going down behind this. I have no idea where.
Yeah, and an attack on the 4th base at the bottom left, but that's being cleaned up.
Yeah, I think I'm really confused where those probes went down. Did
they die
at the 3rd? The 4th, sorry, did they die here?
There was some Banes that ran down. I just didn't see if there were probes down on that line.
Yeah, they were on. Yeah, it didn't look like there were any probes there to die. So. Sure. This Zealot is trading really well against single links, but it will get taken out eventually, and this base goes up for
Hero Zealot sitting down there.
They're actually equal in bases now, because Zain is also taking this Nexus.
Zain's really impressive with his expanding. I think Zain's in good control this game, but Seb was in good control last game and then lost, so, you know, it can still go either way.
A few roaches going down there from the Disruptor shot on the parting.
I'd say Zain has to pay real attention here. That Disruptor is on cooldown, and if that Zerg army had gotten on top of everything there, it would have been a disaster.
Yeah, and it is a maxed out, you know, Roach, Ravager, Baneling army.
Yeah.
Though it's not the most, like, effective. This is a big Baneling run by it. May get some damage.
Great wall off.
Another 9 probes going down as Seb and Zain scrap over here in the north.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the most effective, like, supply-wise. So if you run, you know, 130 supply of this comp into 130 supply of basically any other comp, it's not going to do so well.
But it's very easy to get 130 supply of this comp. Here we go, in for the big fight now. Force fields coming down, and Archon's in the front, tanking all the Banelings. Loads of cannons and a super battery going off. Yeah, the Banelings roll through and kill all of the probes on this base. And does he have enough?
Finally sort of cracked him here. All of those Archons are going down, so the tankiness of this army is pretty minimal. A big disruption shot, and I think Zain holds here.
Oh, the warp in, the super battery running out. But
I really think
Seb
should have just clicked this Nexus down. You know, it's been here for way too long. I think just right-click that.
It's overstayed its welcome.
I think so.
Oh, speaking of overstaying its welcome, the Zerg army gets caught out on the retreat.
But Zain down, you know, 10 workers now. He's lost so many in this game. A total of 43 going down to the Banelings is.
But he's got enough bases. Oh, Ling run by into the natural. Does get kind of caught out, but he's going to go in here.
This is not what you want from Zain.
Yeah, good damage.
This around. Another, you know, looks like 10, 12 workers may go down here. Gets cleaned up, you know, pretty quickly from Zain, all things considered, as we have a single Zealot come over here. Kill not much.
Yeah, both of these players really good at sending pot shots at each other. A big Baneling coming in here. How many? 20. Oh, boy.
So many probes going down.
Lord, 25.
Zain down nearly to 50 workers. It's a decent stasis trap. I just think this comp here for Seb, you know, it's working so far, but it just doesn't have like enough diversity, enough I don't know what you call it. It's not got enough longevity in this game, in my mind.
Well, we saw it last game, right, where eventually Zain got one very good army, and that was enough to take a incredible fight and win the game basically off the back of it.
Absolutely right.
Where's the hive tech transition, you know? Or does he think he can break Zain on this with this army comp?
Yeah, I do think he can.
He's coming around the side for a full 360 as well. Summoning coming around the back, but they're running into the natural. Again,
so many Banelings, and this time Zain really does have, you know, Zealots, so those do get taken out. I do think Seb might finally broken this position as Nexus will go down. A big disruption shot coming through. His Archon's still standing though.
Oh, it's close.
It's definitely close.
Just get the... Okay, you got the Nexus. Thank God for that.
The Nexus. Finally it dies. Behind this, 9 workers going down, I believe, to a Zealot run by. Yeah, down here.
Oh, that's so big.
11 kills on a single Zealot. That's insane.
But I feel like this was more of a... it was a very Pyrrhic victory. What? Can we have a look at the units lost?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, these Queens are
after this fight,
now in the middle of the map is going to feel pretty rough. I hope he has enough Queens to stay transfusing in this game.
Let's have a look. Yeah, 5,000 more minerals lost and nearly 2,000 more gas lost for Seb.
But
so
73 workers going down for Zain is insane.
But Zain is playing a slow game. He's not like trying to hit a timing and then kill. So, I mean, it hurts him to lose the workers, but it's not the worst thing in the world. He's just slowly building up. And look at the gas bank for Zain. This is an exo bank, we call this in RD, right? 2,500. That is a lot of High Templar Archons you can make if he wanted to.
Yeah, and I think he will want to when he sees, you know, how many Banelings and the comp that Seb has. Another huge disruption Nova going down. But it doesn't look like there's quite enough units here for Zain.
Yeah.
It's going to be tricky for sure.
Oh,
there's just so many Archons, and they trade so well. You know, they have +3 attack here. It would be interesting if you went for, you know, more upgrades on those, but they trade so well against these roaches. I think Seb is going to be out of this game.
Yeah.
Crazy. So it seems to me like Seb gets himself in a decent spot, and he, you know, pushes through, you know, quite strongly, you know, with a big push, that he, you know, masses up on these roaches and ravagers, lings and banelings, and then goes for the attack, and it gets, you know, some damage done, and it works pretty well. And then he runs out of steam, and he just keeps doing it and keeps doing it and keeps doing it with diminishing returns each time.
I wonder if Zain has identified that, hey, you're more afraid of playing against Protoss late game than I am playing against Zerg late game. You're going to continue attacking into me. You're not going to rush to get to Hive and then make some transition and play a technical late game.
Yeah, make a million spores and Vipers and Festivals.
Exactly. Well, I think Zain is going, well, I'm willing to play that game. So if you want to keep attacking into me, I know I can keep slowly taking bases, keep defending, keep rebuilding probes. And with, like, Archons, like, in that second game there, I would have loved to see the Hydra transition into either Lurkers or something else. But because he had the range upgrades, I know a lot of Zerg players don't like Hydras. I don't know. But they can definitely work. But now, Seb needs to keep it together and either decide whether is he going to try and crack this egg for a third time, or is he going to go for a cheese, or is he going to commit to a technical late game?
So let's not forget that game started as a
12 pool. You said it was a macro build, though.
It's a macro build, and we saw, you know, it did go the distance. That was a, I forget how long game. Yeah, I still have no idea how long that game was. You know, 15 minutes maybe?
Yeah, no, it went, it was a drawn-out mid-game, but the game went on for a long time. And again, Seb's doing a lot of good moves here, but Zain just knows how to not take critical damage. It's like the World War II planes that they would get shot and they'd have all bullet holes in the wings, but they were still flying.
Still flying.
And that's exactly what Zain is doing here. As we spawn in to the third map, it is going to be Royal Blood, and spawning in the bottom left as the green Protoss, it is Zain.
And playing purple, playing in the top right of Royal Blood, coming into game number 3, down 0-2 unfortunately, is Seb, Bellator Desolator.
Dr. Dyer. And then some other names he's probably online. Yes!
No 12 for this game.
Yeah, again, what you got to think here, so this is where mentality comes in, and mentality is a big thing in Starcraft, and you've got to now dig deep and go, okay, what do I do differently this game?
So he's just looking around for the probe so that he can take the hatch undisturbed. And the probe is coming, it's just, you know, a slightly later scout. This is more the typical scout timing.
Yeah, this is a gateway scout timing.
Yeah.
where
you can do pylon scout and then block the
yes.
hatch, which is a bit annoying, but it doesn't really affect too much in the game in the long run, I think.
Yeah, so a lot of the players who like to do pylon scouts like to go into adepts, or like to certain players like Ross who can do adepts but doesn't always do adepts, likes to do it to make the Zerg thinks he's going to do adepts, right? So there's lots of like little things like that. But that's a very high level meta, and this is the UK scene. All of the players here know each other to some degree. So sometimes there is a bit of mind games going on here, but Zain, again, just seems to be happy to play that completely standard defensive macro, kind of reminiscent of Rain style. I can just hold everything, and then eventually we'll win out.
Yeah, I think he's, like you said, quite happy just to sit back and defend and sort of weather whatever Seb seems to throw at him, which seems to be so far this Roachling Ravager Bane comp, which, you know, is good and it's pretty viable, but like you said, maybe needs some like stronger backbone core units to, you know, really firm it up.
Yeah.
I think a Lurker, you know, sort of transition could work. You know, we saw him in game 1 go for the Broodlords and then didn't manage to make any, which is unfortunate, but I think that sort of idea would have worked really well in the previous game if he could just get the economy together to squeak it out. Yeah.
It is interesting because, like, the hero style, for example, relies on building more oracles if they're not building anti-air, pretty much. But Zain actually didn't need to do that. He actually just matched the ground army and stayed in a defensive position, and that was enough. So it's going to be really interesting to see. So Lurkers, again, in both games, in theory, would have been great if, you know, Zerg can get to them. But, yeah, Seb not being able to get to them. Roach Ravager Bane used to be a really good defensive comp to allow the Zerg to get to Hive and get to Ultras, which were the popular thing at a point in PvZ. But, yeah, Seb doesn't seem to be super willing to play that game. And we see, yeah, Zain is going for the same thing again. This is the same as game 1 opener. 2 adepts into the, or 1 adept into the Stargate, 2nd adept going to go across the map. And show me what you can do. I think there's an adept in the main right now. Oh yeah, now shaded out. Yeah,
it didn't get anything, but you know, I guess it had a look around and saw this out. Seb gonna preemptively pull.
One gets caught as it spawns. Again, mentality is so tough here. That's so tilting.
Yeah.
Because it's the position of the map meant that there's the...
Yeah, otherwise they'd spawn on the other, other side of the hatchery and would get picked
such
up.
little things. And it's not really too consequential, but it feels bad.
Yeah. So we're going to have some spores come up. I don't think Seb knows that this is a Stargate opener, but I think he's not... You know, he seems to be pretty happy to play, like, safety spores, you know, play really properly.
I think it's a good call.
Yeah,
again, this third base is really early. Lings are coming in now to try and deny that, I think. Yeah, but they're just shoot away. Yeah, there you go. There was an adept walled in there, so that's all good.
Yeah, so now just heavy droning out of Seb to sort of catch up economically. He's down like a few workers at the moment, but you know, once he gets that Zerg economy fired up, he should be able to catch up pretty fast.
Yes.
Hopefully now not losing too many drones this Oracle. Looks
like
just
bit miscontrol there. Zain, be careful.
Yeah, really nice save from Seb not to lose too much there. And I guess slightly a miss micro from Zain. He really, really does not want to lose this. You know, it means a lot to keep it around for safety throughout the rest of the game. So losing it, would be
absolutely,
huge loss.
As a Protoss player, and I've done this many times myself, you want to stack that mental damage on the Zerg. You want to be, I got another drone with it. But that does mean you end up losing it. So yeah, you got to be very careful here. This time, Zain is opening Blink. Very interesting. So he obviously has got a few units and he's gone into Blink. We don't see a Forge, I don't think, yet, or at least no upgrade on the Forge. But look again, 4 more workers.
Yeah, after weathering, you know, the one Oracle alone, you know, Seb does lose a few more workers now on the backside to these Oracles. Though with these Lings that are sort of circling around the map and picking stuff off, he did manage to snipe a Stalker over just outside Zain's third base. I think when it went to try and kill an Overlord. So
yeah, it's possible. So
I don't think that's, you know, hugely important, but it's nice to get these little bits of damage in where you can.
Yeah, and again, we see the Zain already preparing a defensive wall off at the third base.
Yeah, that's really typical of what we're calling hero style, which is, you know, Oracles into Blink Stalkers, the Forge coming down now, so they'll, you know, get those upgrades running, and then as the Zerg, you just need Lings and Roaches, and you have to try and defend and try and hold it, while the Protoss is going to start like denying your expansions, denying your creep, taking really nice trades with those Stalkers and forcing you, instead of making drones like you want to be making aggressive units that you don't. And
then Protoss can expand very quickly. In fact, there we see the 4th base going down before the 6-minute mark. Again, very hero-esque.
Yeah, Zain's been really on top of his expansions this game so far. I don't know where Seb is sending this. Is he taking a hidden base?
I think he was
sneaks
just
past these adepts.
I wonder if he was just looking for something and then was planning to take that base, but then saw the adepts. But oh, we have a thing on the third as well coming in here. Just the Stalker harass now
starting.
starting.
Really big to pick up that first queen, and with these adepts in behind this, completely uncontested, Seb is definitely going to lose a lot here.
He makes it look easy.
Yeah, he's really caught Seb off guard here, so he's going to have to pull workers into this, which means there's going to be huge worker losses. These are Blink Stalkers as well, so their survivability in this game is huge, and they're going to micro around. Zain is, 4th seed in the whole thing, so his micro is, as you'd expect, pretty good. Does lose a Stalker there, but at this point, I think the damage has kind of been dealt.
Oh, into the stasis trap, and now the Oracle's activated. He turns around and goes, actually, I can fight here. There's been a lot of economic damage done, and Seb must be feeling the pressure right now.
Yeah, for sure. And, he knows that this is just the beginning. It's just going to keep, more and more and more Stalkers rallying across. It is actually going to be a charge upgrade follow-up, along with that +1, and some Zealots are on their way already. So I think Zain may be going for the kill here. He's not investing too much in tech at all.
Actually, yeah, he's floating an uncharacteristically high amount for him. 700-800 minerals isn't that much in a sort of like, Diamond Low Master game, but in these kind of levels, it can make a big difference. But he's got that 4th base up and running, so this is not all in by any means, but it does have a potential to do some devastating damage. But Seb may be trying to flip the switch, getting a Spire, and it's a proxy Spire! I love it.
Yeah, I do like this. I'm not sure it's going to work in this game. I think it's going to be really rough. That worst comes to worst, I think Zain could just recall all of these Stalkers and get them back home and play it really safely.
Yeah, so that's what that drone was doing before. It was going to make a proxy Spire.
Yeah.
So
the only
problem with this is that obviously Blink Stalkers are an effective tool at warding off muters. So if it is quick muters, then I don't know if this is going to have the surprise factor that Seb is hoping for.
Yeah, and in the meantime that he's been banking all of this gas and minerals to make these first 13 muters, he has been taking, not the best trades with the Roach Ravager. I think Zain is really looking to capitalize on that as he just keeps pushing through here with more and more Stalkers as he looks to try and close out this game.
Zain really scared of committing. I think Zain expects there's some sort of flank or something. In fact, he's got some units faced on the south side. Like, he's waiting for a wraparound. But where is this money gone? But now 13 muters pop in. Is this enough to fight the Stalker? Seb is committing to it. He needs to back off these Stalkers.
Yeah, I'm really not sure that you want to fight Stalkers. I don't think you want to use your muters to fight. I think they're really much stronger as a harassing tool. Though, using the Roach and the Ravager here, he is able to push these Stalkers back. How far back, I don't know.
And now he's lost most of his own muters, though.
Yeah, all but one now.
Yeah.
Off the field, so with Seb pushing through with his last few units here, I think that's going to be it.
Wow, what a performance by Zain. Absolutely crushing it in this series 3-0. And it felt like Zain very controlled, held the bull by the horns, and was able to ride it out.
Yeah, a fantastic match. I'm a little disappointed maybe. I think Seb's performance against Mix, where they also played a lot of ZVP, he really did a lot of, a much better job there. But I think that's the difference between, a player of sort of the Mix and Bellator level, they're like 5.5.
Yeah, mid 5Ks.
All around there. Versus Zain, who's, just that little bit better. And, you sort of see it in these games where it is, a 3-0 in the end,
Yeah, and again, Seb played really well. He was doing some really good technical moves, really good harass, really good positioning on the map. But yeah, it just seemed like Zain kind of had him figured out from the start and kind of knew how to handle him. So yeah, what an interesting series though. Very, very interesting technical series to watch. And yeah,
that was a shame. I think Seb will be kicking himself that he didn't have the hottest of runs in the tournament so far, but. I think he now moves to the lower bracket to play the winner of it's either Iger versus Figaro.
Yes.
Or
we discussed it in the start of this match.
It's Iger versus Figaro.
Sure. He's going to be coming up against. So Zain is going to go on to face the winner, which is going to be for Yumi in the winners finals, and then Bellator is going to be going down. Can we see the lower bracket right quickly? Sorry, we've got the production team helping us out backstage here. Big shout outs to that. So yes, Fagara and Iger have just played, or should be playing now, and the winner of that will face Seb.
Yeah. So which is still going to be a pretty tough match. Those all of these players, Figaro, Iger and Seb are all really quite close in terms of the level of play. Yeah.
Actually, I wonder if Iger was able to watch this series. That would be a really nice kind of like, okay, this is what he wants to do. This is how Zain does it.
Right.
But he's got to get past Figaro first. And we're still waiting on results for Roscoe, so we don't know who's going to be facing Raza. Yes. But
so we'll be back with some of those matches, very shortly. I think it's going to be Zero back in this chair, Bramario over there.
Yes. They're going to be casting the next series, which I think is going to be one of the lower brackets. Either it's going to be, we've just kind of gone through that. It's going to be one of the lower bracket matches.
Yep.
And then after that, we should be playing the winners' finals, which is Zain and Fuyumi.
Yep.
I knew it. I just couldn't remember. Thank you very much for having a 10-minute break. Thank you.